So many things we've had to say on how to make a better world. The time is now to make or break. We hold our future in our hands.
Just if we can pitch a tent on finances a little bit, since it's a very hot topic for relationships, and I know different couples do things differently. Is there a right way of handling finances within a marriage? Is there a proven way that works, or what would you suggest to people who don't know how they're going to manage their finances?
Wow.
I've had different
approaches. For sure. I think you'd really not find a textbook answer in every home.
Yes.
They do it differently. And
Yes.
I think for us, what worked for us is ideally, this is what we have. This is what I have. This is what she has. And then in our house, we say, I will take care of the rent, the food. You will take care of this one. This will go to our saving. And then once we do that, we see how it moves.
Yes.
We need to review it. We sit down again, have a discussion. Okay, so this year did this work? I say yes. We keep on it, and keep improving. So what do you think?
You see, when you trust your spouse with everything about you, including your body, your mind, your spirit, and you don't trust your spouse with your money, then I think therein lies a problem. And I'm saying this very safely because I'm saying this with caution, because I understand that people have become not very straightforward in the times we live in. One person is very honest, another person keeps holding back. So the ideal would be, or not the ideal, my advice would be the highest level of transparency possible.
Yes.
Is what I would encourage. Because,
in all things.
In all things finances. Because you're building an empire together. It's like a partnership. This marriage is like a partnership. You guys are working on it together.
Yes.
I was just giving a random example that if anything happened to your spouse, and this mostly happens to the women, you realize that women struggle because their spouses didn't tell where the property was. They didn't say where the money, the land was. Women struggle with the children, so the children end up struggling, and that's because the level of transparency wasn't as high as it should have been. So it may not be a joint bank account. It may not be how do I put it? Putting money in one pool or withdrawing money and bringing it and then starting to reassign it. But just be as transparent with each other as possible when it comes to money. Because if you can trust your spouse with your life, what is money?
What is money?
It is a good thing for a woman to have some money, some source of income. It may not be practical for all people, because I also understand that there are people who have chosen to be, stay at home and take care of the children fully. If that works for you, that's good. But it gives you some level of independence. If you need sugar, you don't need to ask for money for sugar. You can dip and buy sugar. And should anything happen in the unlikely event that anything has happened, you will know where to start from if your spouse is not here today. So as women, and this is not to hide money from your spouse. Don't get me wrong. This is not to hide money from your spouse. But if there can be something you can be doing to generate some source of income, it could be as a result of your talent. It could be as a result of a side hustle. It could be your 8 to 5 still, because you're bringing money to the table. It is good for a woman to have some sort of income, some money that's coming from somewhere, that in the unlikely event that my spouse is not there and I do not have any other cushioning, or in the worst case scenario, who I thought my husband was, he's not. Because the world can be ugly.
Indeed.
Or then I know where to start from. Like there's a bit of a buffer and the children are taken care of.
Yes. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
Sure.
Great tips right there. Yeah, thanks. Finances, yeah, definitely a hot topic. And one thing you've said that has resonated is it's something that can be like a living project, like you can review.
Yes.
You can always review.
Constantly.
Yeah.
You've seen spouses where the man loses the job, but he was the one financing everything in the house. What happens? Yeah. So if you aren't transparent and if you didn't have a safe space around each other, then you have issues.
Yes.
But if the woman, I mean, I know friends who now the lady comes in and says, you know what? Don't worry. Until you get back up, I'll take care of you, take care of everything as you figure out stuff. And then there's she covers where the gap is until the man gets back on his feet. And then they move back together to the same spot they were in. But if you didn't have a conversation,
yes,
you'd feel cheated as the woman, You'd be like, no, this was not the agreement, and things will go south. Yeah, so we review as needed.
And also just wanted to add that with issues finances, just extend some kindness to each other, because today it could be the woman who earns more.
Yes.
Tomorrow it could be the man who earns more. Finances are
they fluctuate.
And that's why it's very important for you to speak one language and have the highest level of transparency, because then it's very easy to fall back onto the plan and say, guys, I mean, babe, this is not working, or babe, this has happened. Can we go back to the drawing board? Can we adjust here and here and here? I know that sometimes maybe when it is the husband who's earning more, they tend to look down on their spouse or their wife, or maybe it is or maybe the reverse is on that maybe happens commonly. When the wife is one who's earning more, they tend to look down on their husband and treat them not in a right way. But you see, those instances are usually not long. They don't last long. Like it changes. It's a thing that flips. So with regards to issues finances, just extend kindness to each other and
I see.
Highest level of transparency.
I see. Wonderful. That's been all about finances.
Yeah.
The next thing we're going to talk about is phones after the break.